This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. It's time for Dolphins football. Welcome to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. The show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Shobe. EJDconstruction.com is a fully insured liability and workers' comp. Call Eric if you need a custom home builder or general contractor. 305-433-4843. Here's your host, the Big O.
Alrighty. We are here. We finally made it. It is a Saturday. And what's all this stuff about weather? And how about you? I'm fine, Sean. How about you? Aren't you doing good? I mean, all this wimpy stuff and all. I woke up. It was fine. I don't know about you, but it was in the 70s for me. I don't know. I don't know. But it was. It feels really good for me right now. Now for Cam Wolf, boy, those videos are. What do you got, Sean?
I was going to say, Frankie is there. They arrived, and they checked into the hotel, and they're going to be heading out to the Arrowhead Stadium. They said no tailgating, though. No tailgating.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, although the people that are tailgating, they have generators. Yeah. And, obviously, if you're just a fan showing up, you're not going to.
They had a big meetup of Dolphin fans. I don't know if you saw it on there. There's over 200 Dolphins fans in KC that was at the – they do the takeover away, and so there's over 200 fans were there, and they're heading over to Arrowhead. So
yeah, dude,
there's a contingent.
Oh no, there's a contingent. I've seen them. I follow them on social media. I see them all over the place. So yeah, the hardcores are there. Those people are the best. Those people are just absolutely crazy. They are awesome. Big O, it all started in Canton this year. That's right, it did. I told you, and so. Tonight, we will witness the Dolphins win their first playoff game in 20 years, right? Since Seattle with the Marino, 99 or something like that, 2000, whatever the hell it was. So it's been a while since they won a road playoff game, and so it's time to win another road playoff game. That's all. It's over. That's it. It's going to happen tonight. Have faith. So, told you. And listen, last week I didn't give him a chance, and I told you next week it's different. Maybe you can. By the way, first half in the Browns and Texans game, and it is the Texans leading the Browns 24-3. CJ Stroud is 11 of 16, 236 yards. And 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Kid is playing off the chain. Nico Collins, who's a terrific receiver, 4 receptions, 86 yards and a touchdown. Brevin Jordan picked up 1 reception and took it for 76 yards. Yeah, Brevin Jordan. Does that name ring a bell? Yeah, that's the University of Miami's own Brevin Jordan, 1 reception, 76 yards and a touchdown. It was just like a little screen, and then he just, he took it all the way. And then Dalton Schultz picked up the other touchdown on one reception for 37 yards, and that was the score. So you've got 20, and Flacco's not playing bad either. He's 15 of 19, 172 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions. So he's not playing bad. It's just Texans are playing their asses off right now, and they're home. Something that our boys, could have been easily. Here's something, okay, that I don't know if it'll work or whatever, right? You wonder if McDaniel has learned from his constant mistakes the last 2 years, including the playoff game against the Bills. His teams aren't necessarily prepared. They're not well coached. They're not the smartest teams out there. They're not the sharpest teams out there. They make a lot of mistakes. He has to get better as a coach. So the question is, have you been able to learn anything? Will you be better today than you have been overall throughout the year and last year? And are you going to be better today than you were in the playoffs last year against the Bills when you screwed it up, not even knowing what down it was on that third down? That was everything that, you just screwed everything up. And so the other thing is, these players, a lot of them will be back next year, just like McDaniel will be back next year. Will they learn from the opportunity that they had, that if they would have beaten the Titans? Okay, I want you to think about all of this shit. Okay, are you ready? If you beat the Titans, you don't even have to play certain people against the Bills if you don't want to. Or if it's out of hand, you can rest them. Who knows? You might have been able to save a body or two that went down, last week. Who knows? Because you're still playing for number one, but it was kind of once you lost to the Ravens, that was kind of out of it, right? So you're not really playing for number one. You could have rested guys. You would have saved injuries. You might have had Andrew Van Ginkel for this game. You know what I mean? Because you didn't have to play him last week against the Bills. Because if you beat the Titans, okay, so you lose to the Ravens and all. So now you can't get one. All right, whatever. You could say maybe, but will you learn that you had the Titans game and you could be playing home just like the Houston Texans in a controlled environment? Because South Florida is basically like being indoors. Because today would have been fine. It's not the end of the world to play out there today. I hope that they can learn some lessons. The coach can learn the lessons from the past and of the recent present, because he constantly screws up in games. Today McDaniel has to be elite. He has to call like his best game he's ever called in order to win this. He has to have Spo-like qualities in order to get it done. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned here. And, McDaniel hasn't done a good enough job of learning the lessons from week to week, because his teams and he constantly makes the same mistakes over and over again. That's why I told you that next year he put himself on a really difficult position, because if it continues, then by the end of next year, you guys will be losing your minds with him. I already know what's coming. So I just hope that the team, when these guys come back next year, that Tennessee game is big and they understand and they take all these games as precious as they are, that when they have an opportunity to win a division, to win home field advantage, that they do take advantage of it. Because this is why, look at Mahomes. He has yet to play a road playoff game. The guys played at home all the time, and that's the key. You want to play at home. Not only do you want to get to the playoffs, but you want to be one of the better teams, so you're playing less games on the road. And this is why Miami, because they don't learn lessons, because they don't learn lessons from week to week and they continue to make the same stupid mistakes, they have put themselves in this position. So what will you show me that you've learned is the question. That's what I want to know. And we'll find out. We will find out. I went with I figured, the season started with inducting Zach Thomas into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And I figured, I was trying to find what hat do I go with? I've gone off the Dolphin path. I've gone with a Bitcoin hat. We had a little success with it, but then it ran out. We went to Chambers jersey, all of that. I mean, we weren't in the chamber of winning anymore. We had to eliminate that. And then we've had a slew of, a couple of different Dolphin hats, and they've gotten, snake bitten. So I figured I would bring, Zach Thomas back and say, Zach, come on, bro. Bring us some 54 magic and help the Dolphins win. Because really, it's all about me picking the right hat. It's not really what the Dolphins do on the field. All that gibberish I said about Mike McDaniel, none of that matters. It's really all about me picking the right hat. So hopefully we went with the right hat today, and we went with a little Zach Thomas. I see Miles Deep there on the chat board, and Dolphin 13, and Mark Gallagher I see. All right. Lewis M., Daniel Berry, Dude 67, Art of the Sport, Lisa Rose. Let's see. Freezing cold, 50-mile-an-hour winds and snowing like a mother here in Rochester. Nothing like Buffalo or KC. And one of the things, I know that the weather stuff is being brought up. And I know that it's stupendously cold over there. Right now, let me see. I've got the weather. It is set right now. It's 1 degree. It is set for -6 this evening. Okay. It'll feel like -20. The wind will be at 17 miles an hour. All right. So it's obviously freezing type weather, but apparently it's not going to snow. There's like a 1% chance of any kind of precipitation. In other words, they don't even expect much. I don't know. That's what it says there on weather.com. I'm not the expert. I'm just reading whatever's there. I'm not over there experiencing it. But apparently, it's not a danger to drive there and back from the game. Whereas for the Buffalo game, since they're expecting, like 16, 18 inches of snow or something stupid like that. And then Matt Verderam, by the way, is going to join us at 7 o'clock in the second hour. So right after we play a little solo D, then we'll have a little Matt Verderam. And Matt was explaining the whole thing about the lake effect and the wind and all that stuff, where it's a lot different if you live in those kind of states that are surrounding the lake. It just has a completely different effect to it. Yes, sir, Sean.
Rodney Harrison, I guess, is on the call for Peacock and NBC. Apparently, they sent him. He's at the stadium. He said, "It's so cold, my mouth is frozen. It's difficult to talk. I walked out on the field, and it is hard as a brick." Yeah. And Chris Perkins also sent out that Tua and Bevel were doing their normal warm-ups, and Tua was stomping on the field. I guess that's probably what he was trying to figure out for footing, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's kind of part of the process, right? Figure out what kind of cleats you're going to wear. Figure out how you're going to adjust to this cold.
And he had no glove also. I'm sorry. He had no glove. He was at this time, just so.
I got to tell you something. Now's not the time for him to wear gloves. Do you know why? he doesn't play with gloves. Tom Brady played with a glove. Teddy had 2 gloves. You know, there are guys that Drew Brees had gloves. Some guys have implemented that part of their game. So they practice with it. So they're used to it. The feel, throwing, it completely changes once you put on a glove. It's not the same. You don't have the same feel for what you're used to throwing with your hands. Okay? So as long as you have big hands, which I think Tua does, you're all right. If you have small hands like Dave Craig or Culpepper, then it might be, you know, a little bit more difficult for you to hold on to the football, and then that could be an issue for you, right? But if you have big enough hands, you should be fine, and you should have good grip, and Tua should have a good grip. It's just a matter of really getting used to it, but you cannot overnight put on gloves, and you probably will not play the same. You've got to practice in it for a while and kind of get used to it, because there's just a different feel once you put on the gloves. You don't sense the ball the same way. It's just, you don't spin it the same way. There's kind of a, I don't know how to explain it, if there's kind of like a delay to it in the way you release the ball, and that you have to adjust to it the way you're doing it and the way you would do it with your hand or a glove. There's just a small type of adjustment to it, and it's just something you don't really want to do on the fly. And if you don't normally practice in it, and you've always played like a lot of guys have played in bad weather with, you know, I think Favre always never played with gloves. I think Aaron Rodgers never played with gloves. I don't believe Len Dawson played with gloves. Trying to think of, I don't think Steve Grogan played with gloves. Jim Kelly didn't play with, no, wait a minute. How come I'm thinking that Jim Kelly did end up adding gloves after? Let me see here. Hold on a second. I don't know why I'm imagining Jim Kelly with gloves. Let me see. Because I know he played without him, but I don't know why. I think maybe in his later years he adjusted with it a little bit in the cold. No, I don't see any. Let me see. Wait a minute. Is that his hand? His right hand with a glove? Oh, no, it's not. That's not him. Yeah, no gloves. I was wrong. Okay. I was imagining things. So Kelly again was another one that didn't play with gloves. A lot of quarterbacks. I don't remember Joe Namath playing with gloves. A lot of quarterbacks that played in the cold, I don't remember them playing with gloves. So it's less that play with gloves, but it's an adjustment. And so you've got to practice it, you know. So apparently the weather is not nearly as bad as what they're experiencing in Buffalo. Like in Buffalo, it is a blizzard, whereas here it's not a blizzard. It's just super cold. So they figure if you're wrapped up enough, you should be fine, and that's it. And they're gonna charge their. Remember, what was it? 93 of the top 100 shows on television were football games. So these networks do not want to let go of these football games. And this one's at night. This one's prime time. The ratings are going to be through the roof for this game. Okay? Tua's got a fan base, and Mahomes has got a ginormous fan base, and Travis Kelce with the whole Swiftie thing has got the biggest fan base in the world. So this is going to have eyes everywhere watching it. Okay. Hard for them to give up that money because they charged a lot of money for those sponsors. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different thing there. So that's why I think this one is going. And again, it's not a blizzard. If there was a blizzard, then maybe it would be a little different. Let me see what you guys got here. Joseph Whaling, Peacock is going to make a killing. Yes. Well, but it's a good way for them to expose their platform because this whole platform thing is so new to people and especially to older people that they've got to get used to using Amazon and Peacock and whatever else, Apple and, whatever else that you use, Netflix and, so that's our world now. You know what I mean? This is a great opportunity. And again, I just told you, 93 of the top 100 programs were football games. Amazon's ratings this year compared to last year were double, I think. It was like it squashed it. I don't know if it's double, but it's a significant rise. Why? Because more people got used to using Amazon Prime. So more people were watching on Amazon Prime. And that's kind of, it's just an adjust. It's kind of the thing that we have on our show with crypto that we kind of tell you, whether you like it or not, it's going to dominate your world. You will be doing everything on it. You know what I mean? But change is not easy for people, and that's whether you're telling people, well, we're going to have a 4-day work week now. Whoa, it's kind of like, whoa, you're going to work from home, huh? It just, things happen in life. You need a cell phone. What? Why would I need a cell phone? Now you do, right? So why would I need a beeper? Well, you ended up needing one because you figured the technology will end up helping you, do everything. So it's just kind of the way everything evolves. And people kind of get a little, they're afraid to evolve. I could have bought a ticket for $6. Yeah, man. People don't want to go. But this is the game. Sorry. You can't pay me to go. I'm sorry. First of all, I just got off a cold. Okay? I have coughed the least I've coughed in the last couple of days, which is just an absolute blessing. That little cough I have, it's less and less and less. It's barely showing up now, which is freaking awesome. Okay? The last thing I want to do is go into that weather and get another stinking cold again. You know what I'm saying? And travel in that weather and then walk in that weather and then stand out in that stadium in that weather. Those Dolphin fans, Chris Barker and Dolph Freaky and NorCal and Big E and all these maniacs that are there now, okay? 305 Babe, the Sports Babe. They're all there. They're all, I see it there, I see Bob too. It's crazy. You people are special. You know what I'm saying? The Slomans family is there. They're maniacs. Okay? Yeah, baby. Slomans is there. Zach is there, man. He's braving the cold, man. It's impressive. I'm telling you. Josh Miller says, I've spent weeks in the Army freezing outside shooting artillery, but being hit over and over in that weather has to be brutal. Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. There's no chance I would go to that game. The only way I would go to a game like that is if it's the Super Bowl. And then, I have no choice. I got to go, And then I'll wear every jacket available to man to make sure that I will never get anything will penetrate. Anyway, thank you for the super chat. Remember, you can make a donation as always. You can send your questions and comments there on Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We tell you that because we get 100% of the donation there, where at Cash App we only get 70 because YouTube likes to take 30. Like they don't have enough. Anyway, True Fin Fan says, what would happen if I farted in Kansas City? Well, all the ice would melt. It would be it would actually be like El Nino, but like a super heat front. And so it would be good. It's smelly, but everybody would be a lot warmer, true Fin fan. You know? So you should have gone and farted. Okay? I think people can deal with a little bit of smell as long as they're a little warmer. Kind of like driving out of El Paso. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to throw a little bit of, not really comedy into this, but so the Buffalo Bills game was moved because of traveling issues. They didn't want people to travel.
Right.
Correct?
To and fro.
Well, the Buffalo Bills send out anybody that would like to show up at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning to shovel snow. Come on in. You can travel to the stadium for that, but we don't want you to come for the game. But come work. $20 an hour, by the way, too.
Yeah, what an ass backwards whole thing. Bro, put a roof, you freaking idiots. You dumbasses. It's not good for the wear and tear of the stadium, all the rain and the snow and all that stuff. So put a roof, you freaking morons. You're going to build a brand new stadium, you Buffalo idiots. Put a roof. And then on 10 minutes before the game starts, you open it and let the elements in, but it won't, like, you won't have to ever shovel snow. Wow, what a concept, you morons. And then when the game ends, you close the roof and that's it. And whatever snow came in, it drains out and you're done and you don't have to do any of that. And your people are safer and you don't have to ask people to come in terrible weather to come shovel snow. You ass backward morons. What is it about this world that everything we do is ass backwards? Everything in life, like it's staring you in the face. We live in a blizzard-like area. Wow, maybe it behooves us to put a roof. Oh, and by the way, outside of our football games that we like in the open, we could actually, with the roof closed, have all kinds of other events that you cannot have if you build a stadium without a roof. And then the entire winter, you can't do anything because you risk weather. Whereas if there's a little snow, it's not stopping you because it's closed and you can have some kind of expo, whatever it is, dude. Gun show, rodeo, monster truck thing, whatever the hell you want to have in there, dude. Because you have a roof, you freaking morons, you dumbasses. So it's just really, it's just king size stupidity, you know, because it has nothing to do with the game. You just open it up 10 minutes before the game and then the elements come in and now everything's back to what you want. Home field advantage. But the entire stadium under 10 feet of snow, it's not about home field advantage. That's about just being stupid. Stupid. That's all. It's about being stupid. It's what you people are. You're stupid. But then again, the entire state is run by stupid people. So this is kind of what happens when you have stupid people running your state. And you vote in these stupid people. So John Rouse is in the house. That's not the Buffalo way, Big O. They want the weather being used to it. It gives them you're not listening to me, John. You're not listening, bro. The roof is on the entire time until 10 minutes prior to the game. Then the elements come in, and now you play on the elements. The elements aren't 10 feet of snow in the seats, dude. That's not. No. That way, all your fans walk into a beautiful, comfortable stadium. They get to sit down, all that. And then before you even open the roof, you're not even drying your seat or anything because your seat's clean, John. And then 10 minutes before the stadium, before kickoff, all the elements come in. The temperatures will drop drastically. And then you got your football game in the elements. They shovel the whole field out anyway, and then the snow comes in during the game. Well, that's the same thing that's going to happen. There's no difference. You enjoy your elements, but you do it only during the game, the 3 hours of the game. You don't allow the 24 hours before that to put a mountain city of snow inside your stadium. That's just stupid. Stupid people do that. Smart people do what I said. They actually have foresight. These people think with their foreskin. Anyway, Big O, this is going to be a game of inches. Run the damn ball. The last drive of the Dallas game was a thing of beauty. Yes, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anyway, comparing McDaniel to Walsh. I wasn't comparing McDaniel to Walsh. Where was I comparing McDaniel to Walsh? Yes, exactly. A retractable roof. That's it. That's what Buffalo needs in that stadium. It's not even only about the game. Then you can do other things, even in bad weather. It's raining or whatever, or snowing. You're still going to be able to hold events in there. Like, if you're going to use taxpayer money, then create something that you can maximize your revenue from it. You're not going to be able to maximize the revenue without a dome stadium. You're not in South Florida, and even in South Florida, we kind of need a little bit of a dome stadium. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's common sense, dude. Anyway, Big O, would you have attended the game with this weather? LOL for free, but at the end, get a hall pass with Nicole Kidman and Salma Hayek. You could have done better than Nicole Kidman. It's Salma Hayek is, but Nicole Kidman, All right. Let's see what else. Yes, the Buffalo foreskins. That's probably what they should be called, because that's kind of what they think with. What else do we have here? The weight of snow on a retractable roof may render it inoperable. My brother, it's not like flat, like they're rounded out and it kind of, and they make a lot of money. That thing could be heated where the snow won't even sit on it. There's a lot of modern technology, my brother, that I think you're not very well aware of there. But that's all right. Look at that. Even Alarmo is tripping out on some of your comments. Achan did not play in the last KC game. Glad he's playing tonight. Amen to that, bro. Amen to that. Never been to Buffalo. It is a miserable place. I've been to Buffalo several times. And the first thing I do when I get to Buffalo, I drive to Toronto. That's what I do when I go to Buffalo. I drive to Toronto. And then when I got to go to the game, then I'll go to the game. And that's it. And then I'll leave. But there's nothing to do in Buffalo at all. Nothing whatsoever. When Mad Dog used to say, give me a room without a view, he was like 100% on target with that one. Anyway, by the way, the Chefs now are favored by 5. The over and under is 43.5. Dolphins are plus 195, and the Chefs are minus 238. And yes, I took the Dolphins plus 4.5. And I added more now, minus 5. They're winning this game. I'm really gambling. Okay. As I told you, this is all about lessons learned. And let's hope that there are some lessons learned in this one. We need it big time. Okay. If they learn some lessons, then you definitely have a shot at winning this whole thing. Browns are in the red zone, yes, and right now Browns are trailing 31-14 with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. They they better get their stuff going because Houston is looking really, really good. They got themselves a nice young coach, and then the front office has done a marvelous job of drafting. By the way, well, they also got lucky that Carolina was stupid. But I was a CJ guy over what's his name? What's the name of the kid that went to Bryce? I was a CJ over a Bryce Young guy. I would have taken CJ over Bryce. So Houston got lucky that Carolina is stupid. But now that we've seen David Tepper, we kind of know now, right? Now we know that Carolina is another one of those teams that has a meddling asshole owner and is not going to allow his team to get any better. You know what I mean? But Houston did a marvelous job, dude. Marvelous job. Flacco bleeped up what he got intercepted. I'm not looking at it, so I don't know. I have no idea. So
he threw a pick six.
Whoa, pick six. Wow. Okay. So then we've got what, a 30. Oh, that's why it's 31. Okay. So the pick six had already happened. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it happened like almost right before you called out the score.
Okay, that's why. Okay, no wonder. I was going, man, so it's about to be 38-14. This game is over, dude. Okay. All right. This game, by the way, when we talk about this game, the storylines are awesome. We talked a little bit about learning from your past, right? Mike McDaniel specifically, and players themselves learning, right? But the storylines in this game, first game for Tua in the playoffs, Tua's got to respond in clutch moments like this against big teams, right? The last couple of weeks, obviously has not, 2 weeks ago, he did throw a couple of touchdowns and the coach set him up in one of the interceptions, but whatever. But still not getting it done. And if he doesn't get it done here, it just adds to the growing list now of not getting it done in these kind of moments, which is not something he wants, right? So that's a storyline going in all of this. The injuries are a storyline going into this. They've got a ton of injuries. You know, I saw Teron Armstead look pretty joyful, you know, coming into the stadium. Let me see here. He's happy. See, there he goes. He's happy. He's looking spry for a big guy, you know. But you need guys like this to stay healthy. He's got to be able to last the entire game, right? And then we got the storylines of Mostert, Waddle. I don't think Waddle's playing, by the way. I haven't thought that Waddle is playing all week. High ankle sprains. There's no way that you recover. And if they shoot it up and numb it up and wrap it so tight, maybe he goes out there to run around like a decoy a couple times or something. I mean, if that kid ends up becoming like a player in the game and catching a couple of passes and making plays. Now, I will warn you about this with Waddle. I will warn you about this with Waddle. He's a tough son of a bitch. So he might be crazy enough to play with that thing. I don't think he will. But again, they can do some wondrous things with drugs and tightly wrapping that thing up and trying to keep it as stiff as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. You know, we'll see. It's interesting. But all the storylines, Emmanuel Ogbah, you're headed for free agency. Yes, you have 5.5 sacks. But, you know, you need moments like this. You kind of need this going into free agency that you've still got it in the tank. And then you sign Bruce Irving. You signed Malik Reed, which you got activated along with Ethan Bonner. You signed Justin Houston. You signed Melvin Ingram, right? So now you got a bunch of old guys. Bruce Irvin's 36. Justin Houston's 35. Melvin Ingram's 34. Okay. Malik Reed's young. He's 27, but he's been on 5 teams in 4 years. He's just a guy. It's not anything really special or anything like that. By the way, between Agba, Irving, Houston, Ingram, and Reed, you have 285 and a half sacks. You have 62 forced fumbles. You have 32 fumble recoveries. Okay, so you got some guys that at least have experience and can make plays. I don't know what their conditioning is going to be. Okay. Melvin Ingram, I don't expect to have him get caught up in coverage too much because I expect this game to be more about running than passing, although I still think the passing game is going to be a factor in this game. Because on that frozen field, guys, I think Achan is the most dangerous player on the field today. The most dangerous player for the Chiefs or the Dolphins is Devon Achan. Because you slip up once, you take one tiny wrong angle, and he's gone. And you're not catching him once he's gone on a straightaway. So these are things that I think can be a factor in this game, right? But the storylines are amazing because Agba needs this badly. Tua needs this badly. This would be McDaniel's best coaching job of his short career. This would alleviate some of our concerns going into next season about him as a game day coach. It wouldn't take him away because he would have to win like next week to take him away. You know what I'm saying? But it would help. He needs it badly. He's not very good in these moments. In fact, he sucks in these moments. In fact, he's mediocre every week as a head coach. He's a fantastic mind. He is a very mediocre head coach. Very mediocre. Okay, he can play design. He's got a great defensive coordinator. The team has been loaded, even has depth. So and the quarterback stayed healthy. That's the reason why you won all these games. He helps out, but he hurts you a lot. So he needs this game. He needs a game where we don't point at, dude, why is he calling an option play for Achan when he's on his side of the field? You know what I mean? Why does he have Chubb still in the game? Right? Why is he hurrying up a play before a 2-minute warning when, one, they're not a disciplined team to be hurrying up plays and being sharp. They're not that. You know, stupid shit that he constantly does in every freaking game. He needs a clean game. Badly. Just like Tua needs a hell of a clean performance, this guy needs one hell of a game. And let me tell you something. Fangio started off, they didn't know his defense. It was a disaster. And it was really more about people getting out. Now Fangio has another challenge that he has to acclimate a bunch of new guys to a system. And that's going to be really difficult to do, man. It's really difficult to do. But he did a marvelous job last week. He did everything for them to win. Everything. A lot of great storylines, a lot of people. Fangio's the least of everybody else that really needs this game. Justin Houston is pissed. He needs this game. He needs to prove to people that, you guys forgot about me, man. And by the way, he's playing against his former team. He will be motivated, okay? Bruce Irvin, another guy nobody picked up. He's going to be motivated to prove to people that he can, still do something and help out. A lot of interesting storylines and a lot of carrots dangling there for a lot of these guys. This might be Justin Houston's last opportunity to leave like an impression for his name in this league, just like Bruce Irvin. These guys this is a great opportunity for them to get after, a Pat Mahomes. And you wonder, will there be more blitzing here? So there's less thinking, less covering, less playing zone. And let's get after Mahomes. Let's get him uncomfortable. Let's hit him. This line is not good. Their left tackle's out. All these kind of things. So let's do that. We have inactives.
Oh,
Sean Stanley, please tell us the inactives, sir.
tight end Tyler Croft, tackle Keon Smith, cornerback Xavier Howard, cornerback Cam Smith, safety Javon Holland, quarterback Skylar Thompson is the third, of course, and wide receiver, Robbie Chosen.
Yeah, he's
So Waddle is active.
he's a wasted roster spot, I think, the entire season, to be quite honest. I just think it's just you're trying to reach something that really is unreachable already at this point. He is what he is. He's never really going to change. But
Real
the
quick,
Javon, I'm not surprised with Javon Holland. I'm a little surprised with Waddle. Again, he is crazy. So he's tougher than what people give him credit because he's such a nice kid that you don't look at him as a tough kid. And he is as tough as it gets, actually. So there's a part of me that's like, yeah, I can see the crazy bastard giving it a go. Like I told you, I didn't think he would play, but he's the one that I could wild card. And there it is. He's active. Yes, sir.
This is not a repeat. Flacco, pick 6, second of the game.
That's it.
I think he's turned into a pumpkin.
Yeah, game over. Yeah, hey, bro, listen. They played 5 quarterbacks, and they got to the playoffs. There's nothing to complain about. 0 to complain about. They used 5 quarterbacks. They had to pick a guy off the street that was hanging out with his family. Okay? Flacco did good enough for them. At one point or another, he was going to turn into a pumpkin. And, you can't hope for the Flacco from, what was it, 2000 and I don't know what the hell that was back in 14, 13, 12. I don't know what the hell. It was years ago already. So it's not that guy that threw 11 touchdowns and no interceptions and got on a hell of a roll. You know what I mean? When he was on his game, when he was a good quarterback. Now he is what he is. He's an old man playing this game and hanging on. So again, five quarterbacks and you still got to the playoffs. You did a marvelous job. Absolutely marvelous job. I wish DeMeco Ryans was our coach. Louis M., I'm not doing that to McDaniel. I'm pissed at McDaniel. I need him to learn. And I told you that if he does all this next year, he will be on that hot seat. It'll grow and grow. It'll be boiling by the end of the year. Okay, if this shit goes on again. But I like McDaniel, and I want him to succeed. But I will not, just because I want him to succeed, I'm not going to sit here and just overlook everything that he's not doing right. Just like I love Tua, but the interceptions are out of control. Out of control and unacceptable, to be quite honest. Okay? So, inactives for the Chiefs, by the way, I'll give them to you right now. Justin Ross, the wide receiver. Kadarius Toney. Oh, he is out. I wish he would have played because he's, a guy that's turned into a complete screw-up. Keith Taylor, the cornerback. B.J. Thompson, the defensive end. Wanya Morris, the offensive lineman. Neil Farrell, defensive tackle. And Felix Anudiki Uzoma. He is also inactive. Those are your inactives for the Chefs. Okay? You got that. Let's see. Stats don't make a quarterback elite. It's how they perform in big moments. Exactly. And he needs this. He needs this game. He needs this game. I'll tell you what I want to see, and I talked a little bit about it this week. I talked about it earlier in the week, and I think Tua might have gotten a message. Not that it came from me or he's listening or anybody's listening to the show or whatever, but I talked about this. And one of the things that I talked about was that McDaniel's a bad influence also. Not only has he been a great influence, he's also a bad influence for Tua because his way too aggressive nature in the passing game, instead of being the guy that, some of you idiots thought he couldn't throw a deep ball, they have him throwing deep more than practically any quarterback in the NFL. And McDaniel takes too many chances. And there's not enough of the 4, 5, 6 yard dink and dunk plays. And I saw Tua say this week that I got to do more of taking what the defense gives me. Because when you're forcing it to Tyreek in between 3 people or Waddle, you're not taking what the defense gives you. You're forcing something. You're forcing to take it away from the defense because the defense is completely trying to stop you. Yet the man is double or triple coverage and you're still throwing it to him. So you're not taking what the defense is giving you. You're playing irresponsible football. And that's why he has all these interceptions. The last play last week, I was very disappointed in Tua because that looked more like a panic throw that he didn't even think about it enough. And there's 2 guys there, and Chase is not even open. There's no reason. And you're not even throwing up at least an alley-oop. Where if you're at least throwing an alley-oop, I'm saying, okay, this guy can out-jump everybody pretty much. Let's do it, which I still don't understand why we're not seeing that. Okay. And in fact, when Tua threw him a touchdown 2 weeks ago, Chase Claypool was sitting there waiting for the ball instead of trying to high point it, which again, fundamentally, not a good team. They're not a smart team. Last week, when Tyreek doesn't catch the ball and the point hits the floor, and the Dolphins did nothing to hurry up to the next play. They hung around like idiots, and they gave McDermott all the time in the world to throw the red flag. A smart, a savvy team is rushing to the line to get a playoff because they know there's a doubt, but you don't want to give them a chance to find out or not. And at least if you would have been rushing and they throw the red flag and you're trying, at least you tried. You didn't even try because you're not a savvy team. Because your coach is not savvy. He might be smart, but he's not a very good head coach. He doesn't have every situation ready to go. And their team is rarely ever prepared for all situations. And it's a shame. But that goes with young coaches. Now, as we've talked about this week, we don't have time to wait for you to grow up. That's why next year is very important for him to grow up and figure it out by the end of the year. Because if not, it's hot seat time at the end of next year. Guaranteed. I know what's coming. So he better fix it. But for Tua, he's played some dumb football. And he's allowed his coach to get him in that rhythm. And as I've told you before now, Tua has to start thinking for himself. And not every play that's called is a good play. And while you're in the middle of it, you have to understand that it's a bad play at that moment. The man is double or triple covered. If they're double or tripled, and by the way, I hear people talking about others are not open at times. That's because you're not scheming it right. Okay, because Braxton Berrios averages 8.8 yards per catch. He's only caught the ball 27 times. If you scheme it and they're worried about the top 2 guys, he should get open. He should be able to get 5 to 7 yards. Let's just move the chains. Cedric Wilson, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but averages 13.5 yards per catch and has 3 touchdowns. He has 22 catches. That's the problem. You're not using him much, but he averages 13.5. That's what the freaking math says. But you need to scheme so he can get open. River Craycraft caught 9 balls. Everybody has River Craycraft on their shit list. And it's not River's fault. He averages 13.4 yards per catch. It's the play designer's fault. You're not designing plays that force the defense to think Waddle, to think Tyreek, but you're going to Wilson or Barrios or Craycraft. You got to think smart, baby. You got to be smarter. I'm sorry. In the Marino era, I watched Joe Montana dink and dunk people all the time and then kill you over the top when he had to. And as a Dolphins fan, I watched Brady hundreds of times just settle for that 4, 5, 6 yard pass. And my God, that was a pisser. So why isn't that in this offense? So let's play smarter. Let's use our heads here. Dan Marino had Dan Johnson and Joe Rose and Bruce Hardy catching 5, 7 yard passes all the time. Yeah, Duper and Clayton, sure. But they were using other guys to move the chains. Jim Jensen was there catching passes, coming out of the backfield. There's Kirby, there's Byers. It was always there, part of the offense. Yeah, Marino threw all those touchdowns, and that's all you talk about. But I watched it. I watched all the other guys. I watched them drop it off to Davenport and give it to Higgy or drop or a little pass to Higgy. If Marino always had that. It wasn't only, we're only throwing a Duper Clayton. That's bullshit. Cephala was going to catch some stuff. Joe Rose was going to catch some stuff. Bruce Hardy was going to catch some stuff. Dan Johnson was an expert at sliding and catching the ball. Anybody notice that? Back in the day? So don't give me that shit. I don't want to hear that. Scheme it right. It's not only about two guys. And instill it in your quarterback that this is, he has the hardest passing game in the NFL, Mike McDaniel. Do you know that, right? He put Tua through the toughest passing game in the NFL last year. The most difficult passing game in the NFL was the Miami Dolphins, and he's doing it again this year. He doesn't add easy to his offense. And so then you just give a crackhead crack, and he's a crackhead. And you give an alcoholic alcohol, and they're going to be an alcoholic. And if you give a gambler money, and you keep giving them money, and they're going to keep gambling. And what the hell are you going to do? How are you going to stop the addiction? You got to change it. So you can't just keep giving him deep passes, because, you know, there's a problem with Tua. He's too nice of a human being. He's too decent of a human being. He has to think for himself some here and say, no, I'm not doing that right now. And when he's dropping back and he's looking with the radar, he has to understand that's double covered. Let me go somewhere else quickly. And dump it off into the flats and hit somebody on a crosser. And, dude, the Ravens offense lives on slants. They only have a couple of passes in their passing tree. That's it. Because they live off of yak. But they get everybody involved in it. Tight ends and running backs and receivers and all of that. That's smart. We don't do that here. We don't get people involved. It's two guys that get the entire workload, and then everybody else picks up scraps. And it doesn't bring balance to the offense. So, the score doesn't matter anymore for the Texans. You told me a second pick six. That game's over already. So, Big O, do you think that Wes Welker in the coaching staff could have some input in the short passing game? I don't know. It's a great question. All right, let's take a quick break here. Let's get ready. Matt Verderam's going to join us. We'll play also a little Solo D. let's get ready for hour number 2 of the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show.
You're listening to Miami Dolphins coverage on the Sports Talk 305 network, brought to you by EJDconstruction.com. This is the Miami Dolphins pregame show with Orlando Alzugari.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Welcome back to the best coverage of Miami Dolphins football on any platform. This is the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. Here's your host, Orlando Alzugari.
Run it, run it, run it, run it. Run it, 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 run it. Tell them boys run that. We could go where it's colder with the sun that. The real never stay down. Gotta come back. Gotta go all out if you want that. Run it back. Run it, 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 run it. Tell them boys run that. We could go where it's colder with the sun that. The real never stay down. Gotta come back. Gotta go all out if you want that. Run it back. Run it up, run it up, run it, let's go. No matter where you start, gotta hit the end zone. If you disrespect my team, we ain't in the friend zone. I'ma get under your skin like some hair ingrown. Anywhere I go, 2 feet, 10 toes. That's 20 reasons I can never sit home. Run through the kingdom, we gon' have to blitz thrones. Cancel out your season like a bad sitcom. It's all over. It's a word. He took 2 L's, he don't wanna see the third. Ain't praying for a miracle, we putting in work. You can only grow when your foot up in the dirt. Ain't worry about the weather, cause we got a whole plan. To make Pat Mahomes throw the ball to snowman. We gon' bring the pain, but I promise no danger. Put him on his back, let him make a snow angel. I'm so cold. And Tyreek got gas on his feet, about to run a fire street. 2 of the franchise about to be the club hero. Raised in Hawaii, about to turn to Sub-Zero. And watch Raheem, A-Chain, and Jeff Wilson break through the ice, making water, now they chillin'. Dolphins stand strong, can't break, can't bend us. DWA still screaming fins. Run it, 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 run it. Tell them boys run that. We could go where it's colder with the sun that. The real never stay down. Gotta come back. Gotta go all out if you want that. Run it back. Run it, 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 run it. Tell them boys run that. We could go where it's colder with the sun that. The real never stay down. Gotta come back. Gotta go all out if you want that. Run it back. So low, so low, so low, D. So low, so low, so low, D.
Gotta tell you, that is one of my favorite raps of his this season. That was good. And obviously, he hit on what we're all talking about all week, run the damn ball against the Chiefs. So nice job by Solo D. And as promised, Matt Verderam is ready to join us. Matt, that is Solo D. He's a big Dolphins fan, and he creates a new rap every week throughout the season for each game. So, and I think that one flowed really well, dude. That was good. That was good.
That was good. I agree with his message. They might want to run the ball in this game.
Yes, they definitely. I mean, one of the things that I was talking about before you came on is that the most difficult passing game in the NFL becomes Miami's because McD is always going deep, and for the guy that can't throw deep, you go look at Warren Sharp's chart every year now, and the Dolphins are way up out there in the top because the difficulty of passing is too much, and there's not enough of the dink and dunking in the 4 and the 5 yard passes and the 6 yard passes that Marino had, that Tom Brady would fucking kill you with, So that's what I would like to see today or tonight is the running game and the dink and dunk passing game. Dude, don't force everything to Tyreek in between 2 and 3 guys. That doesn't make sense.
I don't think they have a choice. I mean, that's the way they're going to have to play tonight. I mean, that's coming. Look, what's interesting in this game is, let's be real. I mean, both these teams know exactly how this game's going to play out. I mean, that's how it's going to play out. Both teams are going to try to run the ball and throw the ball into 10 yards in the air. I mean, that's what this game's going to be. Who defends it better? That's the game. I mean, that's it. Who defends it better and who makes the big mistake or, maybe the big play. Maybe somebody makes an incredible play. That's going to be the game. I mean, I don't think it's any big secret here. Miami's going to come out and run the football. And if I'm the Chiefs, even with Tyreek's speed, I would put 8 guys in the box because I'm saying, look, go ahead. I mean, it's brutal. It's like throwing a rock. And by the way, if I was Miami, I'd do the same thing against Kansas City. I'd put 8 guys down in the box and say, I don't care. You want to beat me over the top? Try and do it. I think it's so hard. I asked some former players today, hey, look, the weather, how would it impact you? And the idea was, look, it's not going to be crazy windy, but when it's that cold, it's hard to grip the ball, and it's hard because you can't get a great grip on the ball. It's hard to throw it deep down the field. I mean, I think I would be very surprised in this game if either team has sustained success deep. I mean, maybe you get one shot or something. I would be shocked if either team's throwing the ball 20-plus yards in the air a lot in the game.
You live in Chicago, okay? And I want you to bring some edumacation to the rest of us because you edumacated me on something because, not that I was one complaining, but I was wondering, like, okay, so you changed the Buffalo game. What's going to happen with Miami game? And then you explained the lake effect.
Yeah.
And the difference between being where you're at in Kansas City, which you really don't get the lake effect compared to all those other states right around the lake that are literally getting the lake effect. So please educate us.
Yeah. So I went to college in Oswego, New York, which is literally when I stepped out of my dorm hall, if I took a ball and threw a football from my dorm hall, I could have put it in Lake Ontario. When you get lake effect, and I've seen it, I lived it, like you can have a situation where 10 miles in off the lake, maybe you get 6 to 12 inches of snow. And on our campus, we'd get 3 feet. I mean, it is that. And when it comes down, like an inch of snow an hour is a lot of snow. There were times we'd get 3 inches an hour. I mean, it is blinding. Like you can't see in front of your face. So I think with the Bills, I love these people who are tweeting out like, well, why isn't Buffalo prepared? No, nobody's prepared for that. You can't prepare for that. What are you going to do? Dome the city? I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. I kept seeing like, oh, they should build the dome. That's nice. Like, is anyone going to be able to get there? That's
the problem. It's getting there and back is the problem because it's going to get worse at night, actually. So after the game, the conditions are going to be worse for them. That's the problem.
Correct. I mean, look, I'll tell you right now, I was supposed to be at the game tonight covering it for Sports Illustrated. They had I-80 and I was shut down. I couldn't go. Couldn't get there. I had to turn around. I mean, the roads are a disaster. Now in Kansas City, the roads are fine. It hasn't snowed for I think like 36 or 48 hours there. So that's why they're not delaying the game there. It's the temperature's brutal, but the NFL has never postponed the game because of temperature. They've done it because of travel hazard. They've done it because of natural events, of course, like a hurricane, stuff like that. But I mean, look at that in Buffalo. Look at that. Ain't nobody going to that game. Nobody's getting there. No one's getting there alive. I mean, look at that scene. So that's the difference.
That's a lawsuit waiting to happen right there. That's what that is. That's a lawsuit that you guys had. The conditions weren't proper, and you still held the game, and I had to risk my life going, and we lost this person, whatever. That's a lawsuit, bro. Is what's going to end up happening because you're putting people's lives at risk. Okay,
it's also a hazard of like, look, what happens? Like, okay, now obviously, God forbid you never want to happen again. But like the DeMar Hamlin situation, that happens, and it's the weather like that. You're not getting a hospital. How the hell are you going to get there? Right. And you need all these emergency workers because, look, if somebody has a heart attack at their house, you need to be able. I mean, it's hard enough. Like nobody's driving their dad to the hospital, right? I mean, you're going to try, obviously, but good luck. I have seen my freshman year in college. I got there fall of 06. So it was January or February of 07, right on the border. We got 10 feet of snow in 3 days. Don't believe me? Look it up. Google it. It was on the NBC Nightly News, February 2007, Oswego, New York. They were talking about having to airlift food into the campus. They couldn't get in or out. Nobody could get in or out of the campus. And they were talking about having to helicopter in food into the Quad Center because they didn't know how else to do it. Now, as it turned out, they didn't have to do that, thankfully. But like I remember I had a Jeep and I was parked in the student lot and they were plowing between the car rows. The rows were 10 to 12 feet high of stuff. You would like reach in and try to feel for a car. And then I remember I found my license plate and I remember just looking up and being like, oh my God, like what the hell do I do now? I mean, we were out there shoveling for like 5 hours to get the car out. And then, of course, the damn thing didn't start. Like, it's right, yeah. Buffalo's a whole nother animal.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. So that's all right. So give me a prediction because I know you got to go.
Look, I think the Chiefs win the game. I think they do win the game. And honestly, it's not about the weather. It really isn't. I think the weather's a little overblown this game. I think it's more just the Dolphins are so beat up defensively in this game. I don't think the Chiefs are going to go crazy offensively. I don't think it's going to be like in the 30s. I just think it's going to be one of these games where communication is going to be a problem in this game, in my opinion. Like you have all these new guys in new roles. It's loud. It's chaotic.
Is it going to be as loud?
Not as loud, but it's going to be loud. Not as loud. No, I don't think it'd be as loud as it would be in November.
A lot of people are like, Kansas City people are saying, no, dude, I'm not going. I mean, tickets are like for $7, $15. Like
you know, the funny thing is, I think like you're going to get people going to that game that can never afford to go. Because I've had a lot of people reach out to me and be like, look, man, I can never afford to take my kids. I bought 6 tickets because I got them for $200 for 6 tickets. Like I think definitely it's going to be muted. I do think that's true for sure. Just with all the layers and everything else. Look, I think it's an interesting game. I do think the Chiefs win. Would I be shocked if Miami won? No, I wouldn't be shocked if they won. But I'll take Kansas City in the game. I do think they'll win the game.
Follow him on Twitter at Matt Verderame and catch his exceptional work as always at Sports Illustrated. Matt, thank you for joining me, man, because obviously this is a special one. So appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it. No problem.
You got it. There you go. Matt Verderame. I know he's got to do his work, but I wanted to get him in there. Remember, Cash App or Venmo, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo, and send in your comments. Brooklyn Rob, thank you, my brother. He made a Bitcoin donation. You know, I love my Bitcoin donations. Checking in, and there's a dip. So that's very nice of you sending in Bitcoin in a dip because you and I know, Rob, this is like a speed bump. By the way, miners are selling their Bitcoin to kind of pay for stuff, and then it's going to go. That's one of the reasons why it's gone down. And some of the people on Grayscale, too, and their GBTC, they are selling that, too. And now you're going to see the buying over the next couple of weeks, and it's going to go. So, but this is nice because I was able to load up on Kryptonite. I got myself a nice dip. And that was beautiful, man. The Kryptonite dip is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Can't complain about that. I am loving it. Where is kryptonite, by the way, right now? Oh, it's about to go green. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I was able to load up today, actually, because I got in a new one. I don't know if I've told you guys about Shido, but I got into it this morning. Now it's up 8.5% right before I got in. So that was good, actually, that it's up 8.5% as I got in. If you could get Shido, by the way, if you have the Tangem wallet, you can get Ethereum and trade it for Shido. I'm not a financial advisor. It's up to you guys. You do your thing. Let's see. What do we have here? I looked up a flight last night, plus a ticket would have been $225. Super cheap. Super cheap. Oswego is worse than Buffalo or Rochester. Not even close. The Cuse gets more snow than Buffalo. All I know is I don't want to live there. I told Lisa last night, I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she does it. I have no idea. You folks that live up there, Ragin, Lisa, I don't know how the hell you people do it up there. You people are like the toughest people on earth having to deal with that crap. I mean, it's nasty. Louis M says, loaded up on kryptonite, say, and of course, Pepe. I'm not a meme coin guy, but hey, the Pepe thing might run and you might enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't diss any of that stuff. I'm not the guy. I know the Shido dev. He's cool, says Lewis Mason. Well, tell him that I'm in. I'm in on Shido. Okay? I'm in on Shido. And it's, and it's in a very young stage right now. And again, you remember coin market cap, any coin you want to look, that you look it up there and you scroll down, it'll show you where they sell it. Okay? But if you have the Tangem wallet, the Tangem wallet now allows you to use Bitcoin and Ethereum to trade anything on their platform that's there. And Shido is one that I can trade with the Ethereum. So that's why I got in on it. Central New York is the ass crack of America from Syracuse. Okay, Jay Hurd. I made 3 winters and ran back south. I don't blame you, brother. I don't know how people do it way up north there with those brutal winters, man. You folks are a tough breed. I'm telling you, you folks are a tough breed. Yes, I have heard of Delcium. Yes, I have. I have heard of Delcium, and Delcium. By the way, I'm tracking it myself. Delcium right now is up 6.2%. Okay. So that is one that I'm actually tracking. I'm not invested in it, but I am tracking it. I don't have big money, so I can't be in everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm a working stiff. Let's get to the super chats because a bunch of them have come in, Sean. Let's get them here. Peter Finn fan. Please use Bill Wash's system, turning between tackles and short passes to fullbacks and tight end. Not too many catches for negative yards. I know. I don't understand why the short passing game is not implemented more. And it's higher passing. It's a higher percentage for passing. It just makes it easier for everybody. And it keeps your drive alive, man. All right, go ahead. Next up. I mean, think about it. I know it happened, but you come out of your end zone and you throw a bomb that Tyreek drops, and then you throw another bomb that Waddle catches at 50 yards. I know it takes a lot of balls, but was it really smart? But think about what you're doing to your quarterback. All right, I need you to throw twice out of your – and none of you talk about this. You only – you negative two of people. You only look for, like, whenever he screws up. But you don't really look at it like, that's not smart by the head coach. It's just not smart. It's cojones. But I know Tua has cojones. I don't need to, and I know Mike McDaniel. I get it, bro. Yes, you're a brave play caller. I get it. Now I need a smart play caller. Now I need somebody that's going to use his intelligence because he has it. Okay? I know you're smart. So let's use our intelligence. Oh, no, let's rush this down before the 2-minute warning. We're already on their 42-yard line. We have 2 minutes left. No, let's rush the play so we could just give the ball back to Lamar. No, there was no reason to rush. That's stupidity. That's stupidity by your head coach, setting your players up for failure. So these are things that have to be thought of and have to be practiced, and they're not practiced. I'll give you something else that's not practiced because we do our homework here. Okay, so you got to run the ball, right? We all know this. I mean, this is just, I don't need to tell you, run the ball against these guys. They're not good against the run. You happen to be dominant against the run. Last week, you were dominant in the first half, and then by some stupidity again, you abandoned the run in the second half, which I don't know. I hope they don't abandon the run. I hope they run from here back to Miami, put it that way. Okay? Mostert, you know what he has running, right? By the way, how's his passing? Oh, wait a minute. He catches 25 of them for 175 yards and 7 yards a carry, 7 yards a catch, and 3 touchdowns. Devon Achane, we know he can rush, right? 103 for 800 yards, 7.8 touchdowns. You know he can run. Oh, by the way, he can also catch the ball. 27, 197. He averages 7.3. So Mostert averages 7. This guy averages 7.3. You are now it's 25 and 27 over 16 games. And by the way, Achane has not played and Mostert hasn't played in 16 games, but whatever it is, the average, it's only a couple per game. It's not a lot. Why? 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 They're productive. Just like Berrios, 8.8. Wilson, 13.5. Craycraft, 13.4. Why? Why aren't they included in the passing game? Jeff Wilson, as a receiver, I don't want him in traffic. Another stupid play. 14 of 85 in receptions for 6.1 yards. Can that not keep the chains moving? And by the way, Chris Brooks, which does he have naked pictures of somebody? Did he do something? What happened to Chris Brooks? Why is he on a milk carton? Anyway, 19 receptions for 100. I'm sorry. He has no receptions. He has 19 rushes for 106 yards and 5.6 yards, but no receptions. So I I'm just a talk show host, but I see the warts and I'm like, why? What I see that Marino did it. It's good enough for him. It's good enough for Tom Brady. It's good enough for Drew Brees. It's good enough for the greatest quarterbacks that have ever played the game to dink and dunk. They all do it. Well, why aren't we dinking and dunking more? And that's what I hope today is about, running and dinking and dunking. And sadly, I don't know if it's the weather that's going to force it. But, habitually, I hope it helps our head coach because, my Lord, he needs it. He needs it badly. Next up, what's in the super chat here? True Fin fan, have me and my family laughing. LOL, you're the best. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. On the fart thing. Okay. Manuel Goico, thank you for the love in the super chat. Thanks for the coverage. Have the Fins ever been in a game like this? Playoffs, weather, injuries, and come out on top? I'm hoping for a game to remember where we rise up and overcome. I don't remember anything like this. At all. At all. This would be a first, Manuel. This would be a first. It would be mighty sweet. They can do it. This is the perfect opponent to do it this year. This is not the KC that we have feared for years. So we'll see. Preston Sampson, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. Hope we live to fight another day, but it will take a better effort from Tua and McD and everybody else. And the O-line and Tyreek, my brother, McD called the play. Tua completed the pass, and Tyreek dropped it against Kansas City. And then Tyreek fumbled away 7 points against Kansas City. So the last Kansas City game could have easily been won if Tyreek showed up to that game. And he didn't show up to that game. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, McD and Tua have got to step up, but so does Tyreek and so does Waddle. Now, Waddle, you're going to play? Well, I don't want drop passes, dude. I don't want drop passes, so everybody's got to step up, dude. Everybody. Or if not, you're not going to get it done. Breaking, Taylor Swift is at the game. All right. There'll be a skinny popsicle soon somewhere in the stands. Big O, you said it like it is. How can McDaniel not realize that sometimes a simple play can be a smart thing to implement? Apparently he doesn't. Wilson and Brooks can run inside if Casey attacks the edges and McDaniel doesn't adjust running backs. Long night. This game gives Tua another chance to prove himself in a big game. His past history says no. Right, of course. Always in your eyes. Ola, Big O, if we don't make so many turnovers, we can win tonight. Yes. Yes. Please don't force the ball to Tyreek. Big O, do you think David Long can step up and be the pillar in the linebacker unit today? I think David Long's had a solid season this year. I don't have a problem with David Long. You know what I mean? He has not been like the weak link of the team, actually. I really like the way David Long has played. So for me, it's not really so much about that. You know, Wilkins last week, the big play he made, that's what you need. You need that kind of play from Wilkins. You know, you need what's it called? Ramsey. Ramsey, if somehow or another they go after you, Ramsey's got to make a play too. You know, there's a lot of people that have got to step up. And Agba, this is you put out the emoji, right? When you didn't play and all that. Well, here you are, bro. Biggest stage. It's the playoffs. If you're the guy, here's your moment. Here's your moment. By the way, isn't Agba a former Chief? Wasn't he drafted by Kansas City? I mean, doesn't that add more fuel to the fire? I think it was Kansas City, I want to say. Look it up for me there, Sean. I want to say it was Kansas City that Emmanuel Agba was drafted. Justin Houston played there. I mean, you got some guys that have former ties to the team. That should be a little bit motivating for them. You know, Agba's got to stand, you know, got to step up big time. Let's see. With my jailbroken Fire Stick, I can tune in to Canadian channels too, and they broadcast NFL games. Not paying piss coat. You guys are a trip. Yes, sir.
Agbo is Cleveland.
Oh, Cleveland. Okay. My bad. Big O was hoping for a win tonight. Waddle has to play. He is one of the only wideouts that can block. Chosen can't do anything. Glad he's a scratch. Chosen, I don't even know why he made the team, to be quite honest. I really don't. He's one of those head scratchers for me. Big O, we need to run this freaking ball. Short passes, no turnovers, smart old school football. Let's go. Fins up. I agree. Big O, people already made a ton of valid points, especially when it comes to Tua. It's up to the coaches to make things happen in a less chaotic manner by simply calling high percentage plays. Yes. Big O, ever heard of Cali Chain? It's in the ICO stages. No, I don't know anything about it, my brother. I apologize. I don't know every company out there, you know. You ask why has McDaniel ignored the run and dinking and dunking? While you're at it, ask the dude that cheated on Halle Berry what he was thinking. Yeah, amen to that, bro. Oh man. Let's see. Big O, what do you call a female peacock? I don't know. Have no idea. RuPaul? I'm not sure. Ogba came from the Chiefs. He came from the Chefs. Oh, so he was drafted by Cleveland, then played for the Chefs, and then came to us. That's how it was. Because I thought he was Chef involved. Can you look it up there, Sean? Did he play his entire career in Cleveland, then come here? Because I'm a little confused. So Cam Ward to the King. Didn't Cam Ward already commit to the NFL? Yes, sir, Sean. What do you have, sir?
On and tell you because it just came across ESPN that Cam Ward is committing to the Canes.
I thought he was going to the NFL. Wow. That is fantastic. They got their starter now. There's no more competition. The Albany kid's like, oh, shit. Oh, that is too much. Wow. Okay. Now all we need is for Cristobal to learn how to be a coach, and who knows? Something might happen here. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar, Sean, please. We love Alan Blanco and the great people at 3A Graphics, 786-618-1443. Custom printing and embroidery. The Heat defeated the Magic last night, 99-96. Miami improves to 22-16. Duncan, 4 of 10 from three-point range with 23 points. They've got Charlotte on Sunday at 6 o'clock tonight. The Panthers they're playing right now against the Devils. I should try to get me the score there for that one. We've got one game going on in the NFL. It's a final, 45-14. As C.J. Stroud threw 3 touchdowns in the first half, and that's where it stayed. Joe Flacco threw 2 pick sixes, and it was a beautiful thing. So the Texans defeat the Browns 45-14. All right, there you go. By the way, wow, they have now lost 2 of their last 4 games. Nova Southeastern loses to Florida Tech 80-90. That's not good. And UM will be taking on Vatech tonight in college basketball. There we go. All right. And on the ice,
the Devils are up 3-0 on the Panthers.
How dare they, those bastards? How dare they? And some guy named Bratt has a goal against. Let a Bratt and a Holtz score against you. Is like Lou Holtz playing for that team? Thuffering Thukatash? Yes.
So apparently it's legit. I just confirmed with our Canes insider with the Canes Wear, Miami Hurricanes report. And he says basically Cam had until the 15th to get an agent. He never got an agent, I guess. So then I guess they just kept throwing money until he said yes.
Yeah. Probably. That's a good get for them, man. That's a really good get for the Canes. Now we need Mario Cristobal to grow up as a coach. That's all we need. Well, we got Waddle playing. Deshaun Elliott is active. Raheem Mostert is playing. Tough sumbitch. That's fantastic. Ethan Bonner should be helping out on special teams. It's probably what's going to happen. Malik Reed maybe will be helping out some on special teams also, since they activated him from the practice squad. So, and the storyline to this game for Dolphins fans is interesting because it comes from a no sympathy stance. Most of you Dolphin fans that I've dealt with throughout the week or friends of mine or whatever, they don't care about the injuries. They know they have them. They don't care that it's a road game. They don't have any excuses. The coach is there. The quarterback is there. Kansas City's not a great Kansas City team right now. You brought it on yourself for losing the Tennessee game. You had a 3-game advantage in the division. The Buffalo and Baltimore losses were despicable. The Dolphins team, the franchise, has put the Dolphin in such a frustrated and unreasonable position. Now, I'm not saying you're being unreasonable. What I'm saying is there's no reasoning with you because you shouldn't do it. Unfortunately, you idiots wanted to give up a 14-point lead with 3 minutes left. You get what you deserve. Shayna, they bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting into. I say, let them crash. That is the Dolphin right there. The old man from Point Counterpoint in the movie Airplane. It's what it is. Oh, well, you guys had the 3-game lead. You guys should have beat the Tennessee Titans. You guys collided against each other and you caused a special teams touchdown. And then you had a deflection off a helmet and you couldn't find the ball in a flukish touchdown. Tyreek, you want to drop touchdowns. Claypool, you want to drop touchdowns. Tua, you want to throw interceptions. Mike McDaniel, you want to be a terrible game day coach on a weekly basis. You get what you deserve. That's been the attitude of the Dolphin this week. They're super happy that they're in the playoffs, but they're super frustrated that this is happening. They should be home. They should be the number 2 seed. They should be hosting a playoff game. They should have won the division. That's how the Dolphin is looking at it, like you guys effed up everything that you could possibly F up. That's been the pulse of the Dolphin the entire week. And I got to tell you something. You guys have every reason to feel that way. You know, Heat, by the way, just tweeted out, we're ready for some Miami Dolphins playoff football. Good luck in the playoffs. That's why the Heat are the Heat, dude. You know, that's why they're just a classy organization, man. That's good stuff. It's good to see. It's always good to see the franchises in town supporting each other. I find that to be a cool thing. Frank Piega says 100%. Don't give a rat's ball. You are correct. So win it or crash. That's a lot of my friends. I think all of my friends were like that. They're like, you idiots, put yourself in this position. And, so now get yourself out of it. And in a way, the only way they actually save this season is by winning, because the season's already a failure. It's an absolute failure this season. And you have to win. All you do is add to the failure by losing tonight. Winning tonight saves the season from being a failure. It's not an outright success, but it saves it from being a failure. Let's put it that way. It's kind of like in between. Any other super chats there, Sean? Because I may have screwed up here. There might be a few more. Let's finish these out here. Make sure, by the way, Cash App or Venmo, Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. You can send in your questions and comments there. Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can also make a Bitcoin donation, which we already got one today from Brooklyn Rob. What's next there, Sean? Anything? No? Okay, good. All right. So we got to all the super chats. Always want to make sure I get to the super chats and don't leave any of them out. So 470 people, or 473 now. What's the prediction? What happens? I'm going Dolphins 27, Chiefs 25. I got the Dolphins winning this game 27-25. I believe they will run the ball. And when I heard Tua, I got to take what the defense gives me, I got excited. I'm like, okay, dude. All right. Are you going to really play like that? And if he can do that, I'm going to go with the shocker. And I know you're saying, oh, that's a lot of points to expect. I just think in this weather, there's going to be a couple of guys that are going to escape out in the open fields because people are going to take bad angles. They're going to slip and fall. And I think that that's what's going to happen, that you're going to get a couple of easy scores in this game, both ways. You know what I mean? It's whether it's some kind of a short play that somebody fakes somebody out and they're gone, some kind of a special teams play, a running play, right from they bust out the line, they juke the safety, and they're gone. You know, I think there's going to be a couple of those in this game. So I'm going to go 27-25 Miami. Okay. All right. Let's see. 17-0, says Bubba. 24-20 Miami's got Ray there. These games have high scoring, defense slips and all that. 34-28 Dolphins, says Lewis M. Noel Doubt says the O-line will be an adventure. Our line was all upperclassmen, and the line will be almost all new starters. This is the kind of game that you need to run your biggest back. It doesn't play. Chris Brown. Seriously, the dude is not smart. Well, let's see what happens if they end up using Chris Brooks a little bit. Richard Ray, thank you for the love in the super chat, my man. Chan is going to run for 150 yards. We're going to have over 200 yards rushing total, about 315 yards of offense, and we're going to win 21-10. I like that. 21-10 is not bad. I'll take it. Man, a Dolphins win would make my Saturday night, and I don't care if we're up late, because we're blessed that this time we're not doing a Sunday night late game, and then you're on Monday. You know what I mean? I get to, Sean and I get to rest on Monday, on Sunday, which is a beautiful thing. But I would be doing a show late night tonight and really, really happy. And to me, that's, if we're going to be up late Saturday doing this post-game show, I'm hoping that it's not my last one, and I've got another one, and we're super ecstatic about maybe one of the greatest wins in Dolphin history. Because it may not mean as much as some other ones that had deeper runs, went to an AFC championship where you won a Super Bowl in years past. But this win, because of all the adversity that you've gone through and all the injuries and, guys that have to kind of find their way a little bit here, like Mike McDaniel, this would be a win that instead of the stupid Miami Miracle and all that other crap that's happened over the years but that was in losing seasons, things that didn't mean anything. This would mean something, dude. Like this would be a road game that you haven't had since 99, a road win that you haven't had since 99. Plus, it's something that McDaniel needs badly, that Tua needs badly, that the Dolphin franchise needs badly, that the fan base, my God, and for our fans that traveled to the game and they're in the stands right now, God bless you. I love you all, man. I mean, you guys you take being a fan to another level. I see my man Bob Finns out there. He's everywhere, taking pictures with Marino and everything, tracking everybody down. And he goes to all the games. That is so cool. And he's there, like a lot of them. Chris Barker is there, who hopefully wins Fan of the Year. Make sure you vote for Chris Barker, by the way. These kind of people, they are priceless. But these kind of people need this win. Not just you and me, okay? Everybody. We all need this win, man. We all need this win. By the way, if you're new, this is Honey and Lime, just in case, because some of you start thinking, hey, he's drinking. I got the Richard Ray one. I read that one. Chris Brooks would dish out punishment. He needs to be running back 2 next year. Man, I hope he's used now. I hope they use him now. I've been wanting to use him the last couple of weeks. I find it weird because it didn't seem to me like he was making any mistakes pretty much when he was playing early on in the season. It's weird, man. Cap for Life says, we need this, bro. Yep. God bless those diehards. NBC will be broadcasting the game locally. Yes, Kansas City and Miami fans will get it on NBC. It's if you're out of the Kansas City and Miami markets, that's when you need Peacock. Okay? That's kind of the way it goes. All right? Come on, just do one show with real liquor. Well, let's get a sponsor, and I'll do it. How about that? All right, let's get a vodka company to step up. I'll do it. I'm a vodka guy, so I'll do that. Definitely. Why not? I definitely can. I don't work for a corporation. They won't allow you to do that, but I could. So if we win tonight, can we get a real shot-o? That's an idea. Maybe we have to do a shot if we win tonight. Who knows? All right, let's wrap it up here. I think Matt Verderam, David Furones is there at the game freezing his ass off. So once he's done in the locker rooms, he will join us, and he'll give us the latest on the Dolphin win, because that's what's going to happen tonight. The Dolphins are going to win this game, okay? Guaranteed the Dolphins are going to win this game. I can see it. It's going to happen. Have faith. We're going to come back, and by the way, this show will start the second the game ends. We fire away, so you rush on over, join us. We'll have Tua's press conference, Mike McDaniel's press conference. We'll have David Furones. We'll take your questions and comments and all that good stuff, and we'll have a party tonight, man. We'll have a party tonight because we are due. We're due for a great moment in our Dolphin history. We haven't had him in a long time. I'm talking about meaningful shit, okay? I'm not talking about Wildcat crap. I'm not talking about Miami Miracle bull crap. I'm not talking about what was the name of that receiver that avoided the 0-16 season, whatever. I don't give a shit about any of those moments, okay? We've made those moments out to be something. Yes, sir.
Camarillo.
Yes, Rich Camarillo, Greg Camarillo. I'm doing it for you, Mad Dog. Anyway, so yes, none of that crap. This is the kind of moment that we need for our history. You know what I mean? And McDaniel needs it, and Tua needs it, and the Dolphins need it, and then we can build on it now. It's like you can always dig down deep for the Miami Heat and say, well, hey, bro, Spo has done this before, and they're short, and oh man, but Spo can look. Last night, short a bunch of guys, and they went and beat a playoff team. You know what I'm saying? But you count on Spo to be that. We can't count on McDaniel to do that. So come on, McDaniel. Let's go. Start, dude. Start with it tonight. That would be absolutely fantastic. All right, we thank Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend, that masters this entire platform. Thanks to all of you out there, as always, for so loyally following us and hitting that, smash that like button before you go, man. We really need it. That gets the algorithms going. It's really good for us. We'll be back for the post-game show. Love you all out there. We'll see you later.
This has been the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins pregame show on the Sports Talk 305 network. the show is mastered by Sean Stanley and Chad Show. From home to kitchen to bathroom additions and remodelings, get in contact with one of the best contractors in the business. Call Eric at ejdconstruction.com, 305-433-4843. Please subscribe to our platform by searching Big O Radio Show on all digital avenues. We'll be back with a complete wrap-up of the game once the last second ticks off the clock. Thank you for your support and enjoy Dolphins football.